ungena phakathi abayaziyo bazawuthatha kokuqala ethi inde lendlela esihambayo. Washo Mandela wahlodibana nge-Freedom Day.
This is 1912 Online Radio, The Pulse, and of course, as we promised, we're going to continue giving you updates as they come up. Right now, the guy who has been making a lot of noise, Jackson Mthembu, is talking to CNBC Africa, and of course, I'm hoping to just grab him, and there are people waiting for him to speak to him as well. CEWN, CNBC speaking to him right now, and I'm going to grab him, hopefully, and I'll speak to him about some of the issues that he has been raising in the media. And let me go closer. Maybe I can get a bit of a scoop from CNBC as well. Take a listen. Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Those who vote for others, you can bring them in, you can speak about that. I know who Cyril Ramaphosa is. Incorruptible, never looted a cent from anybody, whether from the private sector or from the public sector. Senzo Mthembu never stole a cent. Comrade Lindiwe Sisulu has been very, very steadfast on being a moral conscience. Never stolen a cent. There have never been any allegations of wrongdoing. Gwede Mantashe, I don't know what he could have stolen from the ANC, but of course, even when he was with the National Union of Mine Workers, even Cyril, when he was with the NUM, never stole any cent, even when he was with the Constitutional Assembly, Constituent Assembly, Cyril. So you also have Paul Mashatile again. These are Losi, Zingisa Losi. These are cadres of our movement who can renew and restore the integrity of our organization. They can indeed rebuild this organization on the basis of integrity, on the basis of morality, but more importantly, they have a duty where there are allegations of wrongdoing and corruption to come in there. They have the political will. That, to me, that's what matters. They have the political will to come in, dirty their hands, immaterial who says what, so that those who are captured are able to face the consequences. Captured, of course, at the expense of our people. Captured at the expense of the ordinary masses of South Africa. This leadership, from where I'm seated, has the political will to do what is right and correct the ills in the ANC.
Mr. Mthembu, I may be a novice, but I know that there will be considerations considering some of the people that are alleged to be implicated in state capture. That means ANC comrades essentially investigating other ANC comrades. Wouldn't that be another factionalizing point and a polarizing point within the movement?
This softy on those comrades who are alleged to have done wrong because they happen to be ANC. Where are you going to start to correct the ills in the ANC itself? Where are you going to start to correct the ills in government? Because at any rate, who are the majority who are in government? All those people are members of the ANC. I can tell you, there are many members of the ANC who are in government who are squeaky clean. I can vouch for them, I can even mention names. But there are some who have got clouds hanging over their names. That's why even the Judicial Commission of Inquiry, that the judges, that the public protector spoke to, the sooner that commission is established to get to the bottom of these allegations, the better, even for those who are accused.
Now, I must ask you, you speak to both camps when you're here. Obviously, you hear the Dlamini Zuma camp saying that they do have the numbers to see her through this conference, to get her over the finish line. And, they're saying that the conference will be addressed by her as it closes. What is the other side saying?
Well, what would you expect from that team? Of course, I will expect them to say the same. I will expect them to say that the conference...
But how sure are you about your own numbers?
Very sure. Okay, let's just start with the obvious. How many branches nominated Cyril Ramaphosa to be president?
About
1,860, I want to be sure. How many provinces, now as provinces, nominated him full provincial structures? Let me assist you. Eastern Cape, they have a serious delegation. Gauteng, they have a serious delegation. Western Cape, indeed they might be a little bit smaller, but they are coming up here with a solid delegation on CR17. Northern Cape, they have a serious, solid delegation. Then, of course, there's one, Limpopo, nearly forgot them. They are coming in. Now, 5 provinces, even if they say that you are a propagandist. Are you saying that you can beat us when we have 5 solid provinces? You come with Free State. We have a serious delegation from Free State, even where they have whatever numbers. Northwest, we have a serious, we have dented their numbers in Northwest. Mpumalanga, we have serious numbers in Mpumalanga. Therefore, even in the provinces where they, KZN again, over 200 delegates from KZN. Now, having said this, we are having more than the 2,389 branch delegates we need to win conference. When you add the 27 PECs, you add your NEC members, we can just say 40, you add Veterans League members, again we just take 40, not 55, just 40. We give them the rest. You give them the Women's League, you give them the Youth League, then you go and do your own arithmetic. We know that you are very intelligent. We must not make you fools.
Mr. Mthembu, you come from Mpumalanga. In your own province, you were not able to get the provincial executive to back Cyril Ramaphosa. After all the work that went into this campaigning, are you disappointed with Mpumalanga that you couldn't claim it as a scalp for Cyril Ramaphosa?
No, not at all. More than anything else, I've even been more shocked myself by the numbers of delegates that are supporting the CR17 campaign. People who matter, people who come from branches. There were some posting that in Mpumalanga will get around 79 delegates or 50 delegates. But we have gone beyond 300 as we speak in Mpumalanga. I won't give you the actual figure, because if we give you the actual figure, other people might even collapse. But we have gone beyond the figure 300 in Mpumalanga, and that's a conservative number that I'm giving you. If I were to give you the actual, I'll give you outside of this platform.
Mr. Mthembu, you're saying that you're going to have a great Christmas and you don't know about the other side. My question
We'll have a great Christmas. We'll have a wonderful ANC conference. We have not had any incidences, by the way. We have been able to approve credentials. We thought that today this might be an issue of fighting, but no. We have been a wonderful conference. We are voting, and indeed, all we are saying, all of us, let's respect the will of this conference.
I have 2 parting questions for you. Do you expect a court challenge at the High Court tomorrow morning after the results come out?
Definitely no. No. I think it will emblemish the name of whoever who goes to court. I don't think that these delegates who are here will take lightly to anybody after everything we've done. You approve credentials, you go and vote, You vote according to your will. Nobody forces you. That's the good of the ANC internal democracy. We don't vote by show of hands like in other parties. Here we go for a secret ballot. There you sit and you decide, is this the right thing to do for our movement at this juncture? And I can assure you, before we even came here, our campaign did not start here at conference. Our campaign has been ongoing for almost a year. And many branches of the ANC, that's why Cyril had so many branch nominations, because they want to save the movement. They want to save our government. They want to save our country.
And that's what I wanted to ask you as my parting question. We heard outgoing SG Gwena Mantashe saying that it's important for the ANC to try and regain the lost support that was experienced through the local municipal elections. My question is, are you going to be part of that solution within the ANC and within government as you lead towards 2019? And what will it take for the ANC to win back society?
It will take what it will do, yeah. You can't win society without showing to society what we are capable of doing. You know, we have been talking about self-introspection. You remember that? When we lost the metros in Gauteng and the PE, we said we will introspect. This is the time to introspect. This is the time to put a leadership that will give confidence to those people out there, that these leaders will bring ANC back to its values. These leaders will bring ANC back to its principles. These leaders will indeed bring the ANC we know back. And these leaders, we can entrust them with the future of our country. And it starts here.
Is that the overwhelming spirit within branches and delegates?
That's why many branches, overwhelming branches, nominated Cyril. Because of this spirit. Because of the spirit that we must introspect, we must do, correct, and deal with all the ills besetting our movement. Whether it be state capture, whether it be arrogance, whether it be dispensing of patronage, whether it be factions and divisions. So that by doing all these things, by the way, you'll then be uniting the ANC. You can't be uniting the ANC without doing all these things. You need to do all these things so that they contribute in uniting the ANC, and the ANC is then able to lead society and get confidence of society.
You've intimated to me before that you're thinking about taking time out from active work within government, and I'm not sure how far that goes within the ANC. What happens to Jackson Mthembu if branches say no? There's too much spirit in you can't take a break.
Well, you know that the view that I had paraded around was a personal view. And there are leaders of the ANC who have come to me and said, by the way, this conference, getting a leadership that has a political will to save the movement is only the beginning. Do you want to quit at the beginning? They've asked me that question. I'm still pondering it. But again, if branches, there are many branches that have come to me and said that, Chief, we think what we have said we don't agree with. We are still going to put you as a leader of our movement because we think you can make some contribution. Who am I to disagree with the will of our branches? I will not disagree with the will of our branches. But of course, it's something that I can speak to the incoming leadership. Whilst I do not disagree with the leadership, how do I still, with our branches, how do I still have time for my family that I never had?
Good luck with changes. Thank you so much.
Oh, sorry, let's go. Chief, just quickly. Can you walk? Yeah. Can you walk with him?
Your bag is your pen. Don't forget it.
We've been trying to stand by for Mr. Jackson Mthembu, but look at us, man.
On the way.
Mr. Mthembu, can you wait until through the SABC miss?
Sorry.
Hola. Fede.
We are here.
What the
Yeah. Yes, again. SABC. Yes, I can.
Chief,
Yes.
what happens after the conference, irrespective of wins? Will they ask the president to step down, or do you think he'll step down voluntarily?
I will leave that decision to the incoming leadership.
Right, so there's no talk about that.
It's that leadership. Who can talk about that? Because it's that leadership that is incoming. That is the constitutional mandate to talk about it. Not anybody in the state of Jackson Mthembu. So that incoming leadership can give it that.
All right.
Thank you, Chief.
The protectors now.
Hello, Chief.
How's it, bro?
Richard Campbell. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Rest. Now, why do you think I don't know it?
You never make assumptions. It's rude to make assumptions.
Yeah, right, bro.
So I always like to.
Thanks, sir.
Hey, I've got chicken all over my hands. Can I be
I'm good.
How you doing?
Steven Grotes.
Right. So, Pumalanga is flipped, eh? Now we are fine. Okay. We are fine.
Yeah, I'm not done.
It was nice, wasn't it?
Thank you so much. I do have to leave it there with you as we are now joined by Jackson Mthembu. That was an expert in organizational culture, BBC family speaking he's a speaker that goes around all over the world and consults with teams of organizations on how to align themselves and build a sound culture. So after this, we'll be speaking to the ANC's chief whip in Parliament. That's Mr. Jackson Mthembu.
Me keep a legal chief whip because I'm not here in the capacity.
Oh, yes, so
Ghana
here.
has got capacity, yes. I'm here as a former NEC member.
And there you have it. He's here as the former NEC member. It's now 1:45, and we're joined by Jackson Mthembu, who got to vote earlier on, and he didn't make his vote secret at all. So he voted for DP, Ramaphosa, and other 5 incorruptible leaders at my ANC conference. My vote to save my ANC and my country, we must. So the ANC needs saving, Mr. Mthembu.
Definitely. There is a spirit out there, a spirit amongst our people, a spirit of hope that this conference will deliver the ANC they know. That this conference will come up and install a leadership that will take this ANC back to its original values, back to the principles that Madiba, Oliver Tambo, Dube, all our leaders adhere to, which we have offended from now.
But those values must be shared. There must be understanding between, say, you and I in an organization that these are the values that this organization stands for, and the values that we need to live by and espouse. And if they're not shared...
No, we agree, but there are certain things that you will not have thought that the ANC will be accused of. ANC of Madiba and Tambo will not be accused of being corrupt. For instance, the ANC of Madiba and Oliver Tambo will not be accused of self-serving. Have a leadership that is self-serving. Have a leadership that is not serving the people. Now, this is what we need to correct. The ANC of Madiba and Tambo will not be accused of a leadership that dispenses patronage. it will not be accused of a leadership that is arrogant. You know, it's our own members, by the way, our own members who are saying that we are drunk with power to an extent of being arrogant. Now, I'm just saying all these things because they are public knowledge. But more importantly, you know, an ANC of Madiba would have been more worried when it is said his state is being captured. Madiba would not have tried to be playing semantics on what is the state. He would have said immaterial who is captured, whether it's the executive or whether it's the judiciary, whether it's parliament, whoever or anyone who is in the state, whoever is captured, we must get to the bottom. Indeed, I can tell you with my eyes closed. I worked with that old man. He would have instituted and established that judicial commission of inquiry.
So what do you anticipate to be the challenges in self-correction? Because this phrase has been thrown about that the ANC will self-correct from the policy conference. We've been hearing about the self-correction. What will it take, and what are the challenges you anticipate in going about that?
Well, first of all, this is what we have also said all along, that for you to self-correct, you need a leadership with a political will. If you don't have a leadership with a political will to do that self-correction, by the way, you remember what happened when we lost Tswana, we lost Josie, we lost PE. We said that we know we have been wrong, our people will self-correct, but there hasn't been any self-correction, and this conference provides us an opportunity to do that. Provides us this opportunity. And the first thing that we will then have to do is our branches also have nominated many people that they think are incorruptible. Many people, in my view, yes, this is a view of course, one of those is the president that has been nominated as president of the ANC from the Senate. They have not looted any cent from the state, not looted any cent even from the private sector, not looted any cent even when he was the General Secretary of the Union of Mine Workers, which he established together with other comrades, Motlas and others. So you need these people of high moral standing to take the ANC back to its values. When you don't have leadership with high morality, how on earth do you self-correct?
But what are you going to do? Are you going to punish those that are involved in corruption? Are you going to act? Because in these past 10 years, we haven't seen an ANC that has acted against their own. We've seen a phrase even that came about called Mantashi, to have this turnaround after you had made some kind of decision or pronouncement and then changed your mind. Even the ANC hasn't punished Jacob Zuma, for instance, with the Nkandla issue substantially, or to a point that would be satisfactory to the ordinary citizens of this country. Will this next era signify, as you said, but this clarity that you need to do what is necessary?
Well, if you don't do what is necessary, how are you self-correcting? If you don't do what is necessary, because it's when you are in the act of doing what is necessary that the people out there will say, our ANC is back. It's when on the first day of the meeting of the ANC, you say, what are these 5 things you're going to do to bring back the ANC back to its values, to its principles? So that you give a clear signal to whoever that, you know what, we are here to take the ANC back to where it belongs, to its people.
And if he doesn't win?
Well, by the way, the branches would have spoken. But the branches would have lost an opportunity. Because where I'm seated, I'm quite sure that the branches will not miss this opportunity to correct the ANC. Will not miss this opportunity to ensure, again, we are not putting all our correction on the shoulders of one human being, my dear God. It's coming. You need a leadership. That's why I was speaking of a leadership, not a leader. That is the language of the ANC. You need a leadership. From where I'm seated, that leadership must include the president who, in my view, should be seated. Others might have other ideas. Who will also deal with these factions that have devoured our movement. these divisions that have made us a shadow of ourselves. Of course, I've also talked about arrogance. I've also talked about, dispensing of patronage. I've also talked about people thinking that we are self-serving as ANC at local level, at provincial level, at all levels, even in state institutions. They don't feel that we are serving our people, which was the mission of the African National Congress, to serve our people. How do we go better? You therefore need a leadership. Yes, my view is that that leadership must be led by civil. It must have Lindiwe Sisulu. It must have Senzo Mthembu, who has been a very good glue in KZN, by the way, holding the ANC together. We believe that he can bring that glue at national level. He's a wonderful person, never corruptible. That leadership, in my view, must include a wonderful person who's now an outgone Secretary General, a friend of mine, Gwede Mantashe. Even at the time when he was with NUM, by the way, something that people don't know is that I was an organizer for a union called Metal and Allied Workers Union, MAU, which has now changed names, it is now NUMSA. He was an organizer for NUM. National organizer for MAU. So we met even during UDF days. We were there in the UDF. We were together in Mpumalanga. He was in the mines there. So here is a good person called Gwede who has never stolen a cent. Well, I don't know whether he could have stolen any from the ANC or from the NUN because there's not much there to steal. But you have a person with a good heart who would like to see the best in the ANC. You have a comrade Losi, who I would believe is bringing the best from our alliance partners, COSATU, Comrade Paul Mashatile, under difficult circumstances, who have led a very urban province, Gauteng, as Treasurer General. We believe these comrades, as part of the leadership, will contribute immensely in turning around the terrible misfortunes of our movement. Of course, you still need 80 members of the NSC.
But I still want to know, will you stay on? Will you help the other candidates or the other, the winning top six to save the ANC?
Well, that has been our narrative. That is our narrative as part of the collective. We will stay. By the way, there was a time when I said I wanted to go home and just spend time with my family. I still feel like that. But I've been approached by branches. They said, Mthembu, by the way, when we rise at this conference, it will be the start of this cycle.
All right, so you heard from Ubaba Jackson Mthembu speaking to 702 as well as CNBC. So I had to walk away because he was pretty much repeating what he had been saying to CNBC. And there's no point in me trying to talk to him because he's responded to many of the issues that I would have wanted to speak to him about. And so I'm going to go and grab lunch. And then I'll go into the hall and check out what's going on. And then I'll come back to you, man. So thank you very much to all of you for watching. Mbali, Lucky, Shaburim Puraga, Maylane, Andy, Somani, Percy, Ronald, Neo, Shaburim Puraga, Sandy So, Pauline, Chris, Given, Mohane, Melabut, Peggy Butelezi, thank you so much for watching. Maureen, Renee, Rianda, Tulani, Makosazana, thank you so much, all of you, for watching. So I'll keep you updated about what's happening right here at the conference of the ANC. Let me go and grab some lunch, and I'll talk for some more leaders as they come through, and I'll keep you updated, man. I'm signing out.